coming at you live from Boulder's backyard. It's Buff's News Radio Show with your host, Russ. And near is your host, Russ!
What's up, Buff Nation? And welcome in to Buff's News Weekly Live. And it is our Monday show, guys. So welcome in. Appreciate you for joining me today. After the rough weekend that we had, Buffs fans, it's going to be okay. Okay? It's going to be okay. We're going to talk about it on today's show. We're going to allow you guys to call in to the show and be able to voice your opinions on what transpired this weekend, what your thoughts were of the team, and what you want to see going forward. So, I appreciate you for joining. Welcome in, Kai. Joe, I get it. It is a difficult time for us as Buffs fans. There's not a lot to celebrate. There's not a lot to be happy about. What I do want to do to start the show off is I do want to talk about the game. I want to talk about the positives that occurred after that game. Kai, you have every right to be. We're about to go into a very difficult stretch after Wyoming. We have to win against Wyoming. And then after that, I'm just telling you, I mean, we very well could go 0-4 over the next four because we are probably playing the top four teams in the Big 12. Teams that have very good offenses, way better than what Houston has as an offense. And so that's where it's at. Kai, he's not the issue. And this is why he's not the issue. I'm not sure how long you've been a Buffs fan, but trust me, he's not the issue. At least not for the Buffs. Welcome in, Lady C. Appreciate you dropping by today. Thank you so much for being a part of the show today. So I want to talk about, and first, let's go through some of the grades to the team. We'll go through some of the positives, Guy. We can talk about it here. And so give me just 1 second here while I share my screen, and we'll go through what the grades look like for the Houston game. And then again, you guys are going to get your opportunity to say what you need to say and be able to talk about what's going on. Shunote, appreciate you joining us over on Twitter. Of course, best way you can support the channel if you want to jump over to YouTube by clicking on the link in the actual Twitter account. Happily would appreciate that. Subscribe, like the video. If they're going to play Staub, why not just let Juju play? See, PD, I don't think they are going to play Staub at this point. I think the Staub experiment is over. I think Friday's game showed that. And I think that right now, Saturday night's game is between Juju and Salter playing. I truly do. Gualo gets it. It's not just one person. I get it, East Coast Kev. You are right. It does start with the head coach. He's got to make some big decisions and needs to really hold his team accountable, hold his coaches and staff accountable, hold his players accountable. That's the part that I can probably say. I agree with you guys. I need to see some kind of correction when it comes to this. East Coast, no, we're not going to owe Salter an apology, okay? They're adults. They're athletes. There's competition. I didn't like, by the way, how Salter behaved on the sideline during that game. I get it. You got benched for Ryan Staub, and you didn't think you deserved that. There's better ways that you can respond to that. There really is. There's not much you can do with that. Prime needs to hold himself accountable for going with feelings instead of production. Okay, so let's take a look at the grades from the Houston game. Top-rated offensive player was Jordan Seaton, although he only rated a 77. And this is what's been happening all season, guys, with Jordan Seaton. I just want to show you guys this real quick. I'm going to pull his player card up if it lets me here. Okay, so notice a trend with Jordan Seaton, guys. Notice a trend. I'm talking about the broadcast, not well-off media. There was plenty of sulking on the bench. You didn't really see him interacting with Staub. I don't care. Guys, I get it. I get it. Everybody wants Salter to be the quarterback. You'll probably get your way on Saturday. I'm just saying there's some better ways we could have, gone about things on both sides. Yes. Should he probably have been benched? No. The answer is no. But I just would have appreciated a little bit different of an act from him just to show how much of a better person he is. Why would he? Because he's a better person, East Coast Kev. You proved to Coach Prime that he made a mistake. As a coach myself, I have had this same exact situation happen. And the people who succeeded the most out of it were the ones that took whatever situation they had, made the best of it, and then once they got that next opportunity, they excelled. They excelled. And I would agree with that, Kai. See, I'm all on that. After the game, all the CU coaches and affiliated podcasters cannot give unbiased opinions about the bad coaching because they would lose access to Prime. I mean, the ones that are truly connected have to be careful with what they say. It's absolutely true. It's absolutely true. And I don't have credentials. I don't have any direct connection, so I can say whatever it is I want to say. And yeah, but the thing about the Houston game, guys, is it was bad front to back. Everything was bad except for, and I'm going to show you guys just like a handful, literally probably one handful of players that deserve some praise, while everybody else, the coaching staff, Coach Prime himself, deserve a lot of ridicule and should, absolutely take responsibility for what's going to happen. Okay. Yeah. Gualo, the run block game is absolutely atrocious. And that you can see that here, by the way, in the Houston. I mean, look at this. Here's your run blocking. Run blocking grades. Okay. Zach Atkins was your best run blocker at 73, followed by Seaton at a 63. Zarian McGill, 63. That's a wide receiver. That's a wide receiver. That's a wide receiver. That's a wide receiver. The next lineman is Andre Roy at a 57. Zy Chrysler, 54. Xavier Hill, 54. By the way, Xavier Hill has graded out so poorly when it comes to run blocking this season. Look at this. Georgia Tech, 63, 62, 54. But pass blocking, we're doing just fine. We're doing just fine. And look, Seaton's the same way. I mean, Seaton is improving on his run blocking as the season goes on, but 78, 79, 91. Sorry, the run blocking is just not good enough. Yeah, we're grading out ridiculously well on the pass game. But if you have no run game and your run blocking is not doing well, then that's bad. What's weird, though, is the stats for the running backs are still looking good. They're still looking good. You look at, where are we? Simeon Price. Look at Simeon Price. I mean, 65.9, but his average yards per carry is quite high right now. Quite high. It's both, Brady. You can't tell me that it's not also talent. Okay. So you're telling me that our linebackers are unbelievable and it's just Coach Hart that's screwing the linebacker room from making their decisions. You're telling me that our safeties are unbelievable and it's just the coaching of the safeties. There is definitely bad coaching happening right now. But to say that it's not talent as well as coaching, guys, I'm telling you, it is everything with this team right now. That Houston game was everything. Coaches, talent, play calling, decision making. It was everything. So if anybody wants to just say it's this and this, that's a simple solution, is not paying attention. Okay, it is not that simple. When you lose the way that you did against Houston, you cannot say that it was just one simple thing that needs to be fixed, which is part of the reason that so many people are down right now, because it isn't a simple fix right now. It really is not a simple fix for this team. Was it Hill bad at run blocking Memphis? Let's take a look. You want to take a look here? So I got Xavier Hill pulled up. Let's pull up his 2024 year. Okay, here's his 2024 year. Okay, he graded out as an 81.6 run block. Kai. He struggled in the UTSA game, North Texas game, Middle Tennessee, and Florida State, he did okay. But the games that he did really well, West Virginia, 74, Tulane, 76, UAB, a 90 pass grade. That would have probably graded him out as probably the best run blocker. Sorry, run blocker in the country that week, if I'm just guessing. So his run block last year was an 81.6, 61, 64 the year before, and then at LSU he was in the 50s, got better. So not terrible. Not terrible. I'm curious why we haven't given Chauncey a go. Middle interior line, I cannot move their assignments. I'd be interested to see if we give him a shot. I mean, if we take a look again at the offense, as far as the run blocking grades go, I mean, Xavier Hill and Xavier Hill's not even grading out well at pass blocking, guys. Xavier Hill is not even like, he is just not the player that we thought he was going to be. 73, 74. Okay. 69 against Houston. 50. Like, he had a horrible game against Houston. Horrible game. Graded out at a 60 overall between both. 60 overall. And Guala, this is the thing. You know, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. In the transfer portal era, you're going to have teams that from year to year might be absolutely unsuccessful and the next year be successful. Not saying national championship quality, but you got to take what you have. You got to add a lot, and you got to make some big changes and clean house. And, you know, that's where it's going to be. And we do have, guys, this is what I wanted to show you today, okay? When it comes to the grades, let's go back to the overall offensive grades, okay? So the keys that I want to show, DeKalon Taylor, Simeon Price graded out well. Mario Miller did okay. You know, there's that there. What I really want to show, though, is defense. I want to show you guys something on defense. Look at this. Look at this. 83 overall for Alex McPherson, who, by the way, got our Taco Bell Player of the Week. Okay. Player of the Week, Alexander McPherson. He got his first career sack. Look at that. 5 total hurries, 1 quarterback hit. Ended up with 1 tackle. Okay. 83 grade, guys. 83 grade. Okay. That is fantastic. Tafik Thomas, 80. Sean Myers, I don't know why he is not getting more snaps. 35 snaps compared to, let's see, who are the linebackers? Where are our linebackers? Okay, Martavius French, 29 plays. Still less than, but Jeremiah Brown, 49 plays, and he graded at a 62. What are we doing? What are we doing? Why is Sean Myers not our starting linebacker and playing most of the game? Tafik Byard, 79 grade. He's having a fantastic season right now. We need to be playing him more. Okay, 72 against Delaware, 79 this week. Coverage was an 85. That's what you like to see, especially against a team that has a Tanner Kazoil out on the field. Okay, helping out with that is going to be huge. Tavion Coleman graded out pretty decently. He probably needs a start in the interior. If I'm guessing, if I'm making changes, I mean, Tafik Thomas and Tavion Coleman would be starting in the middle. Tafik Byer absolutely should be starting at safety. Sean Myers should be starting at linebacker. If I'm being honest, give Alex McPherson some more snaps on the offense or the defensive line. Amari McNeil should be the next one up when it comes to nose. Anquin Barnes after that. This is the other problem that we have, guys. And we kind of knew this one was coming. We knew this one was coming. Corner, DJ McKinney is doing okay. It's not excellent. Not doing good against the run. Not doing good tackling either. Coverage, though, grading out pretty well. This is the problem. The rest of our corner room is absolutely getting roasted. Getting roasted. Preston Hodge has graded out so poorly this year. Look at this, 57, 46, 60. Preston Hodge is absolutely destroying us. Then you have Tyrekus Davis. He only got 1 snap, graded out as 60 on that only snap. But Makari Vickers played a lot, pretty good in the run game and tackling, but his coverage is not where it needs to be. RJ Johnson, the exact same. So that's where we're at in the coverage. But as I said, you look, London Merritt didn't grade out that poorly. Alex McPherson graded out excellent. So that's some of our young players. So when we look at the young players on this roster, you look at your Alex McPherson, your London Merritt, Julian Lewis in the future, what he's going to bring, Quentin Gibson, and what he brought, which, by the way, if you look at Gibson's grade, I don't believe he actually graded out because he didn't play enough. But, you know, the players and the skill are there for the future. They really are. But, you know, that's where it's at there. Northside, I don't get your point here. I don't get your point. I'm just literally talking and giving a point of view and perspective. I'm not saying this is the end all be all, because the tape is even worse than the grades. So I don't know the point of always coming in here and saying grades don't matter. Grades aren't everything, but they do tell a story and have an aspect of it. I say this every time when people are like, grades are pointless. Grades are pointless if that's all you look at. We're not looking at just grades. We look at stats, we look at grades, and then we look at the tape, the all 22 of the game, and what's going on. Okay? So there's that. Hodge was solid last year. He is so much worse. Oh, he is beyond worse right now, guys. I don't know what is going on with him. Look at his grade. Look at his grading. Actually, he didn't do great last year, by the way. His tackling was piss poor last year. I mean, he hasn't been the same since his Liberty year that he took off and was a 90 overall. So it's just weird. It's just weird. See, Brady gets it. The eye test typically matches the grade. And I mean, I could have told you before even seeing the grades that Alex McPherson was going to grade out really well, and he did. There's a combination of that. Okay, guys. So I wanted to touch on this. I wanted to touch on the grades a little bit, let you guys know what that looked like, just to see if maybe some of your opinions or ideas on what you saw in the game matched up with those grades. Again, that's the whole point, is how does it look together? What does it look like together? So I think the big question that we're going to have to ask today, and I know what some of you are going to say. Some of you are going to definitely say, absolutely, Caden Salter needs to be a quarterback. I already talked about this Friday night when people just started immediately saying that, you know, we lost that game because Caden Salter wasn't our quarterback. There's a lot more deeper issues on this football team than just the quarterback play. Obviously, the quarterback's a massive part of this team, massive part of the way that it works. Yeah, you have a better chance to win if your quarterback plays really well. And Ryan Staub having had an absolute piss poor game minus his 2 drives that he had at the end of the first half. But I don't think even just adding Caden Salter would have won us that game when your defense is allowing a 9-minute drive to start the second half. You know, the game is going to kind of be in the balance right there. So there's a lot that needs to be fixed. There is a lot that needs to be fixed on both sides of the ball. So I'm hoping. We're gonna get to our phone calls here in just a moment. So get ready to call, guys, here in just a moment. We will give you that opportunity to call the hotline here, but I wanted to get that. So a couple things we're going to be talking about today. What your thoughts were of the Houston game, what you want to see going forward, what changes need to be made, and of course, the big one that I'm sure we're going to get a lot of phone calls about. What is your opinion on the quarterback play? I will tell you this. Ryan Staub is no longer the quarterback. He will not be the starting quarterback against Wyoming. The question is Julian Lewis going to be the starter or is Caden Salter? My guess is Caden Salter, but I would not be surprised right now. I would not be surprised if Coach Prime went with Julian Lewis. Just saying. I'm not saying that's the right selection, guys, either. So don't kill the messenger on it. I'm just letting you know what could possibly happen. Okay. So let's jump to the hotline. Let's get it going. Okay. So go ahead and feel free, call in. We'll talk about this. I'm here for you guys. I'm here to let you guys voice your opinions. This is your show now, your guys' chance to watch and to listen and to speak. So let's go ahead and take our first caller. Hopefully the audio is working. We'll see. If it's not, let me know in the chat, guys, and I'll try and get it fixed. Thank you for calling Buffs News Weekly. This is Russ. Who do I have the pleasure of speaking to, and where are you calling from?
Yes, sir. This is Mike. Yeah.
Can you repeat that a little? You cut out there.
Yeah, Mike from Minneapolis.
Okay, Mike, appreciate you calling in. Let me know what your opinions are from the Houston game and what you think needs to happen going forward.
First of all, I just wanted to say the first person I blame was the way the season started is Rick George. And the reason I say that is whoever put together this schedule is absolutely ridiculous. I think Texas Tech showed the blueprint for how you're supposed to put together a schedule in the transfer portal era. When you have so many new players coming in, so many guys need to prove whether or not they should start or who should be the backup. The ideal thing to do is what Tech did, which is to have a total cupcake in your first two games.
Mm-hmm.
And look at what Tech has done so far. Two huge blowouts. They're already ranked. They've been able to play a bunch of guys. They've been able to get guys acclimated, get stuff to gel together, and look how well it's working out. Versus what we got going on here, where we're completely discombobulated. We don't know who's going to start at multiple positions. We're still not sure.
Mm-hmm.
And our season's basically already over. And so, to me, unless Rick George does something about next year's schedule, we're going to be in this exact same situation next year because we're going to get annihilated in Atlanta. We all know that. Tech is going to kill us next year. And I don't know who we play after that. At least the Northwestern. I'm not sure who we have after that. But
we do have a cupcake. We play University of Northern Colorado.
Oh, thank you. At least that. But still, it's the order of the games that gets me. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why he puts the tough games first. We should have had Delaware out the gate, Wyoming game 2, and then whatever after that.
Yeah.
Because it is what it is at this point. We're already screwed now. As far as the team goes, the quarterback situation doesn't matter. We all know that. It doesn't matter. The offense, it doesn't even matter. Whatever they do doesn't matter. This defense can't stop anything.
Yep.
And so I'm starting to wonder maybe I want to know your thoughts. Like maybe we overestimated Coach Livingston. I'm starting to think that maybe he benefited from the fact that the coaches didn't know much about him. They didn't really have a full handle on his tendencies, what he liked to do. And now that offensive coordinators around the league and all around the nation that basically have a whole year of film on him and what he likes to do, I think maybe they started to figure him out. And he may be getting exposed this year. And I don't know. I feel terrible. I feel like we're headed to a 3-win season.
Yeah, I mean it's hard to feel any good right now. As far as your comment on the defense, I don't know if I'm fully gonna put the blame on Robert Livingston. Obviously, he's the head coach. He makes the defensive coordinator. He makes those decisions. I think that defensively, we just weren't able to reload and get the personnel that we really needed on that side. We questioned it throughout the offseason. Linebacker didn't really get improved. Safety didn't get improved as much as it needed to. And now we're finding out, Jaheim Otis isn't the replacement for Nwankwo that we wanted. So it's figuring out how to use the personnel he has now, and I'm sure it's not easy to do with any coach. So that's why I wouldn't put it right now on Livingston where I'm like, yeah, he needs to go or anything like that. Obviously some changes need to be made. We need to find the right personnel. And that is on Livingston to figure out. Like you said, the schedule does not play well into us getting to figure that out, So it's tough. It really is. But I mean, I'm not calling for Livingston to be fired or anything like that. That's for sure.
No. I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying maybe he's not as good as we thought. We thought we had the best defensive coordinator in the nation. Now we're probably not the case.
Yeah. I mean, right now the defense is not performing the way it needs to, and something needs to change. So I'm gonna be interested to see what they decide to do. Is there any changes that you want to see or any players you want to see play more going forward starting this weekend?
Well, I wanted to ask, so you mentioned about the stops. So did you know for a fact that stops not starting? So they have like.
I don't have any like personal information. I just, with Prime calling him out and literally saying that he had a bad game and every sign pointed he had a bad game, I don't see them going back to him at this point. That would be literally the definition of insanity of like trying to make that work at that point, especially when he was your third stringer. So I don't have any specific information. I cannot see them going back to Staub whatsoever. I think it would be because at this point, it's like you go back to Staub, what are you accomplishing? At that point, play Julian Lewis and let him figure things out and try and develop while playing. Or do you put in Caden Salter and see if he can regain, his confidence, everything going on, and you try and win some games with him? That's where I just don't know. But there's no upside to starting Staub at this point. There really isn't, because part of the reason they started him was to see if he could give them kind of some energy, some excitement, some, similar to what he did in the Delaware game. He did for a little bit, in the second half. He kind of energized everybody, but after that, it was just too many mistakes and just not really being able to carry everything. And, that kills the momentum, that kills the team itself. So, I just, no specifics. I just think he's definitely not going to be the starter the next game.
Right, but if I could push back on that, me personally, I think we got to stick to the stop. The reason I say that is, regardless of what quarterback had played against Houston, all three of them would have looked terrible. Because, going into the season, the one thing everyone agreed was that Houston's defense was really good, especially the secondary.
Yeah, I said that. Yep.
Salter been out there, I think all the quarterbacks would have bad. And then the thing is, it's not even them. It's not that they were bad per se just because of their own abilities. It's because they're being handcuffed by this ridiculous play caller we have, who I have no idea how he still has a job. It just blows my mind. Because we all saw, Coach Prime made the right move in year one, got rid of Sean Lewis, made that switch. I don't understand what's the holdup here. Because even Ray Charles can see that it's obviously the play caller's fault. I mean, there's no question about it. But I'll say this. I think Staub should play because I think against Wyoming, he'll be able to get a little bit of rhythm, get back to what we saw against Delaware, and then have something to build on going against BYU. Because at the end of the day, the one thing he has going for him is at least he knows the system, he knows the playbook. Because when we go back to Salter, we know Salter can't read a defense. He doesn't have a handle on this offense. He's conflicted in his play. The guy doesn't know whether he wants to run or throw because his game instincts are to run, but he's trying to convince scouts that he can throw because he's trying to make it to the league, and it plays out on the field. The guy looks like he doesn't know which way he wants to go. And as a team, I don't think we can afford to do that. And with Julian, at the end of the day, he's just not ready. We all know that. We don't want him to go out there and just lose his confidence.
Yeah, I mean,
they're stuck.
Yeah, I will say this. Whoever starts the next game, barring an injury, is the starter going forward.
This is the one last thing I wanted to say for you.
Yeah, go ahead.
So here, and this is something that I suspected, and this may sound crazy or like conspiracy talk, but I'm genuinely convinced. You may disagree with me, think I'm totally out of the field with it. I think Caden Salter gave Houston the game plan. I really do. You remember the player in Memphis last year who gave the game plan to UTSA after he got benched? Remember that big story?
Yeah, I do remember that story popping up.
Because during the game, whenever they cut to Salter and you saw him grinning and smiling and all happy, I just have this gut feeling that that's what he did. And knowing guys, because I know guys who play college ball, and this is something that's way more common than people realize. That a lot of times when players are disgruntled, they're not happy about what's going on, they'll have friends on other teams that they're playing. And sometimes guys will just pay them, and they'll actually send the playbook, send screenshots, tell them the game plan, all kind of stuff happens all the time. Just in the case of with the Memphis player, the UTSA quarterback made it public. Well, this time it's more than people know. And I wouldn't be surprised if that's what he did, just out of spite. I mean, maybe you think I'm crazy. I just have that feeling that it could have been possible because it looked like Houston knew everything we were doing the whole game.
I mean, I don't think they necessarily knew what we were doing. I mean, if you go back watch the game, I mean, if they knew what we were doing, I mean, they would have been jumping routes. They would have been doing some other things. I mean, it was just straight. They were just beating guys off the line. That wasn't necessarily knowing the play. It was, just straight beating people. And I mean, we had a lot of receivers drop balls that would have been difference makers as well. It's hard to say that. I mean, if it was a complete absolute blowout and we weren't getting any points, then maybe you could say something like that. But I think that a little bit too conspiracy theory for me in this. But I'm interested to see what happens this weekend. Let's see who the guy is. Let's see who the quarterback is. Let's see how they respond. I think that's going to tell us the most of whether or not the season's going to be good or not. But otherwise, if we don't do very well against Wyoming, then it's definitely a confirmation.
Well, thanks. I appreciate you taking my call.
Yeah, appreciate you. Thank you. Lorenzo, $5 super chat. The offense started slow last year. A lot of not scoring in the first quarter. This year, offense still starts slow and so predictable. Shermer stinks. Yeah. Let's go to our next caller. I appreciate Lorenzo. Buffs News Weekly Live. This is Russ. Whom I have the pleasure of speaking with, and where are you calling from?
This is Nick Bone calling from Jackson, Mississippi.
Hey, well, thank you for the call from Mississippi. What do you have to say about that game Friday, and what needs to happen with this team?
I can say what needs to happen. What needs to happen is Prime need to turn the cameras off and just play football, man. I've been watching Prime for a while now. I watched Jackson State.
Yeah.
I watched year 1, year 2. Deion Sanders, Travis Hunter, one of the greatest players of college football history. I feel like they got something going on. They had something going on going into the season. They had me fooled. But this is my thing. Let's just stay on the positive note, because it's so easy to be so, discouraging and say all the wrong things. But I really looked at Prime to come and be a more running effective, using the tight ends, pulling guards, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Using what he got with Shermer and all the NFL legends. But this is my thing. When do you turn the cameras off? When do you learn the X's and O's? When do you actually coach a football game? I mean, I watch Well Off all the time, and I'm hearing these guys have all of these inspirational speeches, but when you go out on the practice field, nobody's tackling. Everybody's getting excited to play live, and everybody with the, to get their pads on and hit. I mean, these guys, it's almost like they're not even used to hitting in practice. So how do you expect these guys to come out here and knock somebody's head off in the game? I mean, you playing Russian roulette with quarterbacks. I mean, Deion know better than that. I mean, and this is my thing, right? You got $10 million, Deion. $10 million. You can't go use $5 million to go get 5 great players like a Caleb Downs somewhere. You can't sit on the couch and go recruit great players to bring in the CU. What happened to the Louis luggage? I mean, you kicked out 30 players and said, man, forget y'all scholarship. I'm going to bring in my Louis luggage. And ever since Shador and Travis left, it's like he don't even want to play the players. You in a situation where you can lose Jordan Seaton this year. You can lose Omarion Miller. And it's like, dang, dog. It's like he don't even care no more. And it's one thing, and I don't mean to ramble. You got this guy going on press conference. It was okay when it was CBS, right? But this guy is at the school talking to the reporters like, I don't give a damn, like a Russell Westbrook is talking to a reporter. What do you mean by that? I don't know what y'all talking about. Football. I don't want to talk about no football. Next question. It's like if you're not telling him what he want to hear, he don't want to hear it. What you got to say about this, sir? Because I believe Coach Prime could do much better than what he's doing.
Yeah.
But I just feel like at this point, he just getting a check, man.
You have definitely got some very, very good points. We definitely don't have the superstars on this team. Really anywhere on this team, including the quarterback position at this point. That's a big question of what they're doing there with that. I would agree they need to really lock in and figure this stuff out. And they really need to. I mean, the tackling is just so piss poor. So piss poor. And I would love to hear from some other college football fans, not saying like you're not or anything like that, but what I mean is like, how many teams are doing live tackling on a regular basis? Are we truthfully not doing as much as other teams, or are we doing about the same? We just can't tackle because we don't have the skill. I don't know the answer to that.
This is my thing. With these group of guys, you need it because they don't have no continuity. He go in the portal every year and get new players. He don't know half of the players' name unless they have a big game. Like, I mean, this is like great recruiters. You know what I'm saying? Great recruiters recruit guys at junior year in high school. Mm-hmm. They learn who these guys are. So when they come to the school, they know their daughter's name, they know the little sister's name, and they know what these guys can bring into the table. But when you got a guy like Prime that's taking everything out of portal, and you get him to the school, and here it is, it's time to play ball, and you don't even know what he can do. I mean, you're going to have 8 or 9 receivers switching them out like he got. He don't even know who can catch the ball because he's too busy doing shows with Carucci. He don't got time to even know the team.
I mean, the only thing I could say,
or giving him a freebie, but everybody else is seeing what he's doing. Like he put everything else first and then put coaching last.
You got to remember, though, that he wasn't in the building for 2 months this year. So it is going to be a little bit different. And I did want to bring that up mostly because I'm wondering if that's hurt the culture of him not being there for 2 months to be able to instill it with the new players. So,
but even before that, man, you see the man on the couch doing talk shows, but he didn't want to get on the couch and recruit players.
But he was still recruiting players. I mean, Colorado
was
still
recruiting players, so he went in the house and actually recruited the players.
I mean, so just so you know, I spoke to 2 recruits' parents, and they like the fact that Prime does not come on their couch. So I wouldn't say that necessarily. You're right in an aspect. I do think that him not knowing the players this year, not knowing what's going on is obvious, but I think that's truly because, and I think we kind of underestimated what him missing so much time.
That part of the job?
What, going on the couches?
Not necessarily going on the couches, but if you want the big guys, you got to spend some time and be in an uncomfortable situation.
I get that. I mean, but it's not like we haven't recruited anybody. I mean, we ranked 19th in transfer portal recruits.
I get it for Boulder. But I'm saying in general, you got Coach Prime. Would you want to reach the height when he go in the interviews and the press conference in the morning? He says, I don't want you guys to be average. I want you guys to be great. Mm-hmm. So why can't Coach Prime be great and do things that's uncomfortable, get in the homes, visit, actually learn X's and O's? Hell, even my buddy said this morning, hell, why not just hire Jimbo Fisher, and I mean not Jimbo Fisher, but Jimbo as a head coach, as an intern, and actually listen and learn the goddamn head coaching position.
There's a lot of things with that. There is. You're not far off. Remind me, what was your name again?
Nick Bone from Jackson, Mississippi.
Nick. Okay, hey, hang out in the chat, okay? I'll put you up for the take the week. Everybody in the chat's loving what you have to say. So if you want to stick around, just to make sure, I'll see there's no other calls that are any better, but I love what you had to say.
No, man, you good. I just appreciate letting me on the show, man. It's the first time, man. Thanks.
I appreciate Nick. Appreciate you. Thank you so much for calling. Buffs News Weekly Live. This is Russ. Who do I have the pleasure of speaking with, and where are you calling from?
Hey, Russ. This is Cam from St. Louis. How you doing?
I'm good, Cam. How are you doing today? What do you have to say about what's going on and what you think needs to happen?
Yeah. So, I mean, for me, I think the two biggest things, I'm not with the conjecture. I'm not there. I don't know what's going on behind the scenes. So, like some of the other callers,
Yep,
no disrespect, but
it's true.
I can't speak to things that I don't know, that I'm not
Yep.
there for. But one thing is, two couple things that I think are the biggest issue, at least what I'm seeing on the screen. First caller said something that was very interesting. I don't necessarily think that somebody on our team gave away the playbook or the play call. But what I will say is that it is very obvious that other teams have picked up on Shermer's tendencies.
Oh yeah.
That's number one.
Oh yeah.
Uh, I think the two biggest things that need to be addressed. Number one is the tackling, obviously on defense. Everyone's talked about that. But I don't think people realize just how much Shermer's play calling, if he is being the one, if he is the one making the play calls on offense, is affecting. We are still in some games, but his inability to call plays based on complementary football. For
Hmm.
example, if you know you have a defense that's played, I don't even know how many plays they played last game, but you've got to got to help your defense out by calling more runs. Now I
Hmm.
did see a late slip screen to the running back. Where's the tight end in the middle of the field to help these quarterbacks out? I mean, there's a lot of things
Yep.
where the offensive play calling can help minimize the weaknesses that you have on your team.
Yeah.
Those the tackling and the play calling to me are the two biggest things that need to change.
I 100% agree. I 100% agree. And you know what? You are also right. I think, yes, conspiracy wise, I don't think anybody gave the playbook away. I think it is just the fact that we are so easily just the same plays over and over again that it's easy to read us and know what's happening. So I agree with that observation very much. I appreciate that very much.
Yeah.
You have anything else to add?
Oh no, the only other thing is that I was going to mention, you already touched upon. I think there. I think the impact of Coach Prime not being there due to his illness
I
uh, has had some effect on the how this team is responding, and not being there to kind of make sure things are going the way that they probably should have been going those 2 months he was out. So, but I
Yep.
appreciate you, Russ. I enjoy your show. I'm subscribed, and keep doing what you're doing, man. I appreciate it.
I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for the call.
Yeah.
Buff News Weekly Live. This is Russ. Who do I have the pleasure of speaking with, and where are you calling from?
Hey, what's up, Russ? This is Ted. I'm calling from Rochester, New York.
Hey,
Kinda
how's it
waiting
going?
off, but I love Coach Prime. That dude, Neckbone, man, whatever his name was, I don't know. You got real patience, bro. You do. Because I can tell you want to say something, but you got a lot of respect for people, and I give you that, because some of the stuff he was saying, it's like no coach knows 101 players. You tell me. That's why they call them out by numbers.
It's true.
He knows them. He knows who they are. And Prime, like he was talking, is like Prime don't know the plays or the playbook. Don't he know that Prime was a film junkie
Yeah. I mean, he played both
when he
ways, so he
played?
knows both sides.
Yes. And he still knows all the plays. He knows what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he should put Salter back in. But one thing, Salter did have a funny look on the bench. You saw that?
Yeah, I did towards the end of the game. I mean, that's
He was
the body language
yeah,
wasn't great.
Yeah, the body language. He was pouting and he was turning his lip to the side. And he wasn't even, when Star came to the bench, he wasn't even helping him.
Yeah.
Look at the pad. Most of the time, all the quarterbacks get together, right?
Yep.
And they go over and like, yo, you did this, you did that, you did this, you did that. But I just wanted to say I never really call in. I watch you and Dave all the time.
Appreciate it.
I'm just coming home from work and trying to get my kitchen together here. But yeah, that's all I want to say. That dude Neckbone had some crazy ass things he was saying. I think.
Yep.
You know, Prime. He. I don't know.
I get it.
He has good players on that team.
Yes.
And you know, there's something's missing.
Yes.
Something is missing.
And I think,
you know,
to be honest, I think that's why they went with Staub. They were thinking maybe he can get everybody to like elevate themselves, get a little motivation going. You know.
Yeah, because they was all behind Staub. You know.
Yeah.
They were behind Staub. You saw that? Yeah, they were. So something is missing. But I heard on DNVR, Scotty said that they are the defense. No. The offensive line is ranked number 10 on the PFF.
Yep, for passing. They're one of the best pass blocking units.
Because they only gave up, 2 sacks?
Yeah, they haven't been giving up sacks, and they haven't been giving up a ton of pressure when the quarterback does drop back, no matter who's back there.
No, they haven't. They haven't. Jordan Seaton is one of the top tackles. Oh, and the guy, what's his name? Roy something?
Andre Roy.
He graded out real high.
They all graded out high when it came to blocking, but run blocking, they all graded out very poorly.
Yeah, that's not. But tell me, Russ, why they don't run on Seaton's side? They could be running on the other. It baffles me sometimes.
Yeah, it's
like I don't know.
Yeah, I get it. Especially after a loss like that. There's so many things that we could like blame or put on.
Yeah.
It's just it's tough.
But I gotta tell you, bro, you have some good patience, man. I commend you for that, bro.
I appreciate it. I appreciate that. I really, really do.
Man.
Hey.
All right, man. I'm getting somebody else on there, all right?
Appreciate you. Okay.
All right, good talking to you, brother.
See ya.
All right.
Buffs News Weekly Live. This is Russ. Who do I have the pleasure of speaking with, and where are you calling from?
This is Tony McKinney calling from Charlotte, North Carolina.
Okay, good old North Carolina. What do you have to say about the game on a Friday night?
Well, I'm a high school football coach, so I had to watch the game after my high school team that I coached for won.
Did you guys at least win?
Yeah, we won barely, but we won.
Okay, good. So it wasn't a horrible Friday.
Yeah, but then my weekend with the crap, I see Colorado lost. But I'm gonna talk from a coaching standpoint. I believe everybody wants to be mad at Coach Prime.
Yep.
For several different reasons. I'm not going to bash the man because he knows more football than I probably could ever know. But I will say this: I've been coaching for almost 20 years. I've been around a lot of different college coaches. I've gone to coaching clinics and talked to different coaches. I've talked to Mickey Andrews back in the day when he used to do coaching clinics. I've been to Saban's clinics and Dabo and even Lane Kiffin, Mike Thomas, just a lot of different guys. What I would say, one thing I like that Coach Prime is trying to do, but I think he may have to change up a little bit. He always talks about he wants to be physical. And what I've learned over the years, even in high school, if you want a physical team, you have to do physical stuff. It's almost like the old adage, like if you remember the Rocky movie when he went to Russia, in order for him to fight the Russia, he had to train like he was in Russia. I think the way they train the kids now, especially at Colorado, because of so much speed and finesse, you can't be physical when you're training so much on speed and finesse. You have to train physically. One of the things we do is we do a lot of major power lifting in high school so that we're all our physical team. We run a wing T at my school. So we're down the hill, hit you in the mouth. We'll tell you what play we're going to run, and you're not going to stop it because that's our mentality. Because we know our linemen what they're going to do. They're going to block at point of attack. And one of the things I know watching with Colorado, even with the transfer portal, I think Coach Prime's going to do two things. I hope and pray he can keep this line together. I don't know how many seniors is on this line, but he's got to can see him getting great continuity with his line. Because if you remember, this is a whole new line from last year, and last year was a new line from the year before that. So he's got to get some continuity with his line if he wants to really run the ball. The other thing that he's got to do is he's going to have to, like everybody been saying, I agree, he got to tackle in practice. Well, here's the problem. No one tackles in college anymore. No one wraps up in college anymore. If you watch, 80% of most tackles in college, guys are throwing shoulders. And you can tell that because even Coach Prime, he never once corrected his own son, Shallow, last year. Shallow threw more shoulder tackles than anything.
Yep.
No one wraps up fundamentally anymore. So that's part of the problem. When you watch them guys, everybody wants to lay the big hit because it's flashy. It gets you on screen, gets you on ESPN, and these guys are wanting to go pro. You got to go back to fundamentals. You got to go back to just wrapping guys up and laying wood on them, laying on guys. Even if it means if it costs you a few penalties, at least you get at least you're laying a foundation. And then the last thing I would say is, what do you hang your hat on? What are they hanging their hat on offensively? Is it going to be the pass? Is it going to be the run? I know at my school, we run midline dive. That's our bread and butter. We run that, and we run what Philadelphia does, the push tush, what we call it the wedge. I know for a fact, we need 3 yards, we're going to run those two plays, and you're not stopping it. I don't care if Jesus Christ himself stood at nose guard. We're running it right at your butt, and you're not stopping it. And I think that's where he's going to have to fix. He's got to find a way to find an identity. He's so loyal to Pat Sherman because of Mike Zimmer. Mike Zimmer and Pat Sherman coached together. I don't think Prime ever played under Pat Sherman, but I know he trusts Mike Zimmer. I think he's going to have to go find him. And I want to see him get fired. But I think what Prime really wants, I think he does want to get rid of Pat Sherman, but I think he really wants to see him get another job somewhere else so it doesn't look like he fired him like it did with the last offensive coordinator. Everybody like, oh, you got to get rid of, when he promoted the last offensive coordinator he had, everybody like, well, he basically got rid of him, and then the guy was able to get jobs, so he kind of saved face. I think that's what he's wanting. I think he really like hoping either another college team or either an NFL team will come in and say, hey, we want Pat Sherman to be our offensive coordinator. Problem is, Sherman ain't doing enough for anybody to offer him a job. And so I think he really doesn't want to get rid of him. He's trying to find a way to move away from him. That's why he's trying to bring Brian Leftwich in. I think that's one reason why he brought Marshall Faulk in. I think he's got some stuff in place where he wants to change, but he doesn't want to kill Zimmer's career. I mean, not Zimmer, but Pat Sherman's career by demoting him. So that's what I see.
I love the takes. I love hearing from a coach. And I 100% agree with you. I've been saying it since the season started. We still don't know this team's identity or what they're going to be. It doesn't come across at all. And they need to figure that out, I think, more than anything else right now in this season if they want to save it before it gets too late. I really appreciate the call, man. Remind me your name again.
Tony McKinney from Charlotte, North Carolina.
Okay, Tony, you're also going to be up for Fan Take the Week, so make sure you stick around the rest of the stream. When I announce it, I'll let you know what you need to do. But I really, really appreciate it, Tony. I love hearing from people who have a little bit of experience, with that football background, and I love hearing your takes today.
Appreciate you, man. Thank you. Thanks for the show.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it. Okay, guys, we're going to take a little bit of a break. We're going to turn off the Do Not Disturb so you guys can call here in just a second. I've got to pay the bills, y'all, because even though Colorado's losing, things are still okay. Things are still okay. I mean, I did lose 15 subscribers after that game, which seems like any bad game for Colorado seems to happen. But, hey, you guys are all still here. All of you guys in the chat are still here, a part of the family. I appreciate you. And guess what, guys? It's all about the nostalgia, because back in the early 2000s, Colorado had a pretty darn good football team. And the thing that team's identity was really in was a solid offensive line. And so you think back to that period of the early 2000s, you think about also this. Taco Bell's decade menu is back. And this time it's focused on the time period that I just spoke about, the Y2K era. If you or a loved one experienced emotional distress due to slow internet 25 years ago, Taco Bell believes that you are entitled to a delicious escape now. With Taco Bell's decades Y2K menu, you can get your 5 favorite meal items again. the Cool Ranch Doritos Locos Taco, the Caramel Apple Empanada, the Chili Cheese Burrito, the 7-layer burrito, or, of course, the original GOAT of Taco Bell, the Double Decker Taco, all for $3 or less. That's right. So not only can you go out and still get, by the way, at your local Taco Bells here in Colorado, you can get your Buff Box for $7 with 4 Taco Bell Classics, the collectible player cup, which, you know, for the most part, all these guys are going to be around for a while, aren't they? So if you want to have a great meal, hey, go get a Y2K menu item and a Buff Box. You could feed 2 people with that. Big shout out to Taco Bell, by the way, because every time CU scores a touchdown this year, Taco Bell will help support CU Athletics with a $1,000 donation to the Golden Buffs Scholarship Fund. We appreciate all of the support from Taco Bell. Go Buffs, live Moss at Taco Bell, baby. Okay, back to the phone lines. We'll turn the phone lines back on. Feel free to call in. I got a super chat that I've got to highlight real quick here from Average Highlights. Stop taking G5 guys. Spend in the portal. Recruit 4 to 5 stars. This season's done. Start Juju and the young guys to build for the future. Average Highlights, I appreciate you very much. Let's go to our next caller. Buff News Weekly live. This is Russ. Who do I have the pleasure of speaking with, and where are you calling from?
What up, Russ? It's 414J again from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, my brother.
Hey, Jay. How's it going? How's it going? What were your thoughts on Friday night's debacle?
Oh, man, super duper disappointed. I got off of work early. I was ready. I made some food, and I was just disappointed, man, overall. You know what I mean? Like, I think what's happening right now, I coach basketball, so I'll put it this way. A lot of times you got your stud players, you got your Travis Hunters, you got your Shadors. You can kind of maybe play man-to-man like type of defense because you got the athletes and the guys to do it. Sometimes you get it down there and you don't have guys with the same talent, and you taper it down. We run more zone. We play more continuity on offense. Something people used to laugh at back in the day. They say 5 passes before you shoot. If your team ain't very good, you might need to do the 5 passes before you shoot, opposed to when you got real NBA talent on your basketball team. And I'm like, I was hoping that they would kind of have some offense and defense that would cater towards the players that, they out there, they working hard, but to make it easier for them because there's too many missed assignments, missed tackles. It's just looking sad.
Yeah. No, that's 100%. I agree with that. Absolutely. Do you have anything else to add or what you want to see going forward with this team heading into this next weekend?
You know what? I was just hoping that we get a good showing against Wyoming. Hopefully by that time you can identify somebody as a quarterback. I'm saying right now, Juju. And the reason I'm saying Juju is because he's the future. So it's like, hey, if we gonna struggle a little bit this season, get your young quarterback some experience, so he'd be ready to hit the ground running for next season and kind of just ride it out like that. And just kind of simplify some things, man. Come up with some money plays that you can run and do. And I think sometimes even if they don't work, the fan base will be cool with it because at least you're trying to like establish your identity of what you're trying. But all these different plays and running like 4 wides and all that, like this ain't last year. I just don't think you got the same guys.
I agree. I appreciate it. I appreciate the takes and really appreciate your call. Hopefully I can talk to you again as the season goes on.
Oh, yeah, man. Go Pack, go.
Have a great rest of your night.
All right, you too, man.
Okay, see ya. Yeah, Northside, you brought up a great comment that me and Dave talked about. It does just seem weird. Salter was not I thought that we might cater the offense to him. It did not seem like that. It seems like we're running some of the same stuff and not really catering it to a Caden Salter dual threat, but who am I to know? Buff News Weekly Live. This is Russ. Who do I have the pleasure of speaking with, and where are you calling from?
This is Will. I'm a truck driver on the road right now, calling out of Orlando at the moment.
Okay, appreciate you, Will.
Yeah, everybody's talking about the offense, and yeah, they look bad. I don't, that's self-explanatory. But one of the issues I had, especially being a former defensive back in college, defensive back, is the secondary. I mean, the safeties played a little better. However, them corners, man, they were looking horrible. And we do a lot of man coverage with Coach Livingston's defense, but they don't disguise anything. They always just line up at 8 to 10 yards off, and you got to sit with University of Houston number 5, the shifty receiver. He's catching all those underneath routes and getting extra yards after catch because they're so far off. You got to disguise it a little bit. If you're going to be in man the whole game, well, then at least show some disguise. Come down, show press. Show different looks. And then even when they are in press, what they do is just play soft press. Usually when I was in college, you got a shifty guy like that. I'm not going to let him run wild. I'm not giving him no space.
Yeah.
I'm getting hands on him early, locking him up, discouraging anything. So even if he wants to get to his route, he got to get to it early. You don't have time to do all that stuff to confuse me. And then they got to come downhill and tackle, man. That was one of the biggest things. They get up 36 points. And I think, they got to have more aggressive play calling. I thought they should have put a quarterback spy on that quarterback, especially with all that running he was doing Friday night. And they started doing all right when they started blitzing them a little bit. Things started to kind of work out for them, but they don't call that many blitzes. So it just, I was disappointed in the secondary most of all. But, the offense, they got their issues. I ain't going to keep beating them down because we all know that. But I think the defense is going to have to carry this team this year because they don't know their identity offensively. So I think the defense is going to have to step up and carry this team as far as they can and hope that the offense can get it before it's too late.
I agree. I appreciate the phone call. I love hearing a perspective from somebody who played. And I've said the same thing. I don't get why we are so far off of the receivers every single time. You're never seeing them jam the guys at the line either. And when we finally did, I mean, I will say we started blitzing and we had a little bit of success there doing it. The problem was that their guys were going into, quick routes and they were hitting them before the blitz could get to them at that point. So they kind of figured it out pretty quickly and got something going on, and we didn't adjust again after that. So a little frustrating for sure.
Well, see, I played junior college at Diablo Valley College, and I also played at Western Oregon University, and I played a little bit of arena football. But my defensive coordinator, we ran a lot of man. Second half, when we're up on teams, we run man trail. We run man trail. We had played with 6 defensive backs on the field. That 6th defensive back was like a strong safety, kind of come down, play in a box sometimes, get out and cover. But second half of the game, we'll have 2 safeties high. We'll play man trail the whole game. A lot of times quarterbacks think we're in cover 2, but we're really in man coverage. You either got to make the perfect throw in that window or we got help over top. I mean, it's simple stuff like that. Cover 4. Why not play quarter after 10 yards? It's man coverage. Everything, it's man coverage of its own time. It's things you could do to kind of make this defense kind of come together, and you can also, these college quarterbacks are not that smart. I mean, they're not that smart. But if you don't disguise anything, you're gonna make them look like the next Tom Brady. So
True.
You gotta disguise some things up a little bit. You can't just be so straightforward and just so bland with it because, anyways, that's all I got to say about it. But hopefully they figure that out.
No, man, I appreciate it. I appreciate the call and I appreciate the opinions. So really, thank you so much, and hopefully I'll hear from you again sometime this season.
All right, you have a good evening.
You too. Bye. And this comment right here, the only coaches that I'm really more frustrated in when it comes to the actual games right now, guys, is going to be your OC and DC. What can they do? And we've beaten the horse to death when it comes to Pat Shurmur and what he does there. You see some of the college teams out there that have improved at OC with guys who have a lot of great experience. And you look at some of the hires that have been made this year when it comes to the OCs that have made a massive difference with some of the teams at the top of the country. And to me, I want that. I want to get a really good, experienced college offensive coordinator, okay? Pat Shurmur, he hadn't done college play calling in a very long time. And there is some nuances to it, even though he didn't call great in the NFL either. And so, I just want to get somebody who can be able to, call a really good college game as the OC. I'm going to give Rob the benefit of the doubt. Okay. I am. I do agree. I just don't think we have the personnel, and he's got to figure out ways to make up for it. The last caller was absolutely right. There's definitely some things that we could do play calling wise on the defensive side that can help those guys out. And I'm hoping that they're looking at doing that more and more. As far as the position coaches, the position coaches, their job is only so much. Their job is really developing the players, finding the talent, getting the talent in. That's more of their job. So yeah, there are certain positions that are frustrating right now. And I know everybody wants to always, pile on Hart. And I said going into the season, the linebacker room was not looking good. But Hart did kill it in high school recruiting, which is what you guys keep talking about. You want to see. You want to see you more high school recruiting, less portal, all this stuff. I mean, he had a good recruiting cycle. And those guys, by the way, that he recruited have been tweeting out this weekend that they're still locked into CU as people are, reaching out to them and saying, hey, you should quit. Okay? There are still players that ended up at Florida State even after the horrible season that they had last year. And they're playing better this year than they did last year. So the fact is, don't immediately assume that the kids are just immediately going to check out because this is what's happening. There is still hope for the future with this team as well. With the youth that are here that are just not ready to play just yet, but they will be. We already talked about at the top of the show, Alex McPherson, London Merritt, Julian Lewis, Quentin Gibson, Quinnell Farrakhan X, Mantrez Walker. You go down the list of guys that are young and ready to step up and are stepping up already, but they can't do it alone, and they're only freshmen, true freshmen. So as they go, they will get better. I wanted to point out real quick, because I know I keep getting this about, the transfer portal and that you can't do anything with it. Just look at some of the teams that were the top transfer portal teams with the amount of players they got and what they got, guys. LSU, number one transfer portal team, 18 players. Texas Tech, 21 players. Miami, 19. Ole Miss, 30 players. Oregon, 11, but they just went with the top of the portal. Florida State, 23 commits. So to the person that just said that Florida State cleaned house and completely started over, they only added 23. They didn't clean house that much. Missouri, 22. Auburn, 20. North Carolina, of course, we know what's going on with there. Not looking good with Bill Belichick. 41 commits, which was way more than Colorado even added. Kentucky, 26. Texas A&M, 14. Oklahoma, 21 commits. Okay, Wisconsin, 22 commits. Arkansas, 31 commits. I mean, you're seeing a pattern here. Every team out there is adding 15 plus to their roster. Indiana, 23. Virginia, 31. Houston, that we just played, who went from the worst team in the Big 12. They're looking a lot better this year. They added 30 commits, guys. Okay, so to everybody out there, I get it. Okay, what you don't want is what happened to West Virginia, which is what happens when you get a new coach. 53 transfer portal commits to West Virginia. But the fact is, you're going to have a lot of portal players every year. It's just it's a fact. But the question is what those players do when you get here. Okay, what do those players do when you get here? And unfortunately, we could say that this year was almost a punt. This year was almost a punt when it comes to the portal. It was not good enough. We didn't add the skill that we needed. There were a lot of question marks in different positions, and it's showing up. It is 100% showing up. Okay, guys? And that's what I just said, Northside. I said, yeah, the position coach, develop players within the scheme, recruit skill players. Okay? That's their part. Players Prime turn away on the other teams are balling away. Who did Prime turn away? You talking about Colton Hood? Okay. He turned away his brother, and Colton Hood went away and said it was because of that. Okay. There's only so much you can do with that. And last I checked, Nikhai Hill-Green, what is he doing at Bama right now? Because that's supposedly a player that we turned away. Yeah, Nikhai Hill-Green's not playing very much, and he's not playing very well. Against Wisconsin, he graded out at a 59. Jordan Tyson had a broken leg and wasn't sure if he was going to be able to come back 100%. You guys are forgetting what the circumstances are with Jordan Tyson. We knew he was good, but he had that injury going on. Buffs News Weekly Live. This is Russ. Who do I have the pleasure of speaking with, and where are you calling from?
Hey Russ, I had to call back, man. I had to have something to say, man. You messed up on the last subject you just pushed. You said that who did CU lose that was important. You remember Dylan Edwards, Jordan Tyson.
Yeah, but so Dylan Edwards has been injured. Kansas State's the worst team in the Big 12, even worse than CU right now. Jordan Tyson, yes, unbelievable. And I'm a CU fan. I knew what he was before.
Because they haven't played Kansas State yet.
I know, but right now they are. Statistically, they are. And record-wise, they are.
You got rid of Neil Green, who's playing at Alabama right now.
And he's not playing very well.
Wait a minute, man. He started as a sophomore. He actually taken the route he was supposed to take as a normal freshman.
Nikhil Green?
No, Cormani.
Cormani, yeah. Cormani did not have a good game. I would not use him as an example. I don't know if you've seen the play going around where he just got completely crushed.
But a lot of players that left Prime are actually doing better than they were when they were sitting on the bench, sitting there to ride.
There aren't that many that are. I mean, the one I'll give you is Colton Hood. Colton Hood's balling.
They went to the
so Jordan Tyson
last year.
Jordan Tyson wasn't on the bench at Colorado. He was.
Mateer, you remember the tight end they had?
Yes, I do remember Mateer.
In the tight end room,
yeah, I do remember Mateer.
Wasn't able to coach him, so he left and went to Arizona State.
Here's the thing. Going back to the Jordan Tyson thing. Let me finish my point because you keep bringing up all these players. I'm just showing you. Not all of them. Yes, some are balling, but to act like every single one is balling. Jordan Tyson was coming off a horrible broken leg and was not going to be able to do anything in spring at Colorado when Prime first showed up. So unfortunately, Prime needs to think about what's going on
with that player. Though, what was the rush?
I get that, but the rush was Coach Prime wanted to get success as quick as possible because he was a new coach and he wanted to see what he had and be able to do. So that one, I punt on that one because, but yes, Colton Hood, 100%. Should have done whatever we could have to keep Colton Hood.
Investment you would have had this year if you would have just been patient, Prime.
We would have had Jordan Tyson and Colton Hood. I mean, that they'd be starting.
You probably could have had Dylan Edwards if Uncle Neely didn't go there and say he didn't want to compete.
I don't know if that's why. I mean, every word out there was Dylan Edwards wanted to go home to Kansas State.
Yeah, but you didn't have to push him out for some guys you didn't even use.
I don't know if they did push him out. I don't know if they did. We don't know all that. We're just speculating why he left. The only thing we know for a fact was he wanted to go to Kansas State.
Everybody is having the same reason for leaving. Everybody's having the same reason for getting up out of there.
Which is what?
That's what nobody knows. That's the only people that knows is CU insider. But my thing is, when everybody's leaving, maybe Prime is the problem. There's some in the locker room that's wanting the guys to get up out of there.
I mean, every team has players leaving. Every team has players leaving.
When you go out and recruit guys and you put them on the pedestal, and then all of a sudden something happens and they're not the guy no more, and they run to the portal. Doesn't that make it seem like you're just going to get guys out the portal? You don't have no plan for them. You just saying they're gonna play, then they might not play. It's just a waste of time.
But again, we don't know that that's what's being said to them. I mean, from everything that the team is saying, they tell them you're going to compete. You're going to, you're not given a spot ever. And if you don't want to compete, which I think some of those players that left didn't want to compete. Not Dylan Edwards. I'm not saying him. I think that Shimon Mateer left because he didn't like the way that he was being used. He didn't like the tight end room. He didn't like what was going on, and he just moved on and went somewhere else. There's a lot of players that you can look at why they left. I don't think it was patience. I don't think. No,
I'm not saying that patience. I'm saying that for that player, he could have been patient enough to keep Jordan Tyson, and it would have been a great investment for this season. He would have added him to the receiver room. But it's a lot of instances
What I'll
where
point out,
players came out and even said their situation where they say, "Oh, they didn't want to look at me, they don't want to pay attention to me." But now they other schools balling.
what I would like to say,
It's just like the quarterback situation.
I'm
You
going to
had
point
all
something out.
summer to pick a starting quarterback, but you go out there and start Kate Salter, pull him, put the other guy in, and then put the other guy in like you don't know what you're doing. You're an NFL coach. Shouldn't you know that?
So my big point is college coaches do not have the option to be patient with a player because look what just happened to Foster in UCLA. He got fired after 2 seasons. You have to have success right away. And if you have a guy who's injured from a previous regime that you're not sure what he's going to do, how he's going to return to form, when he's going to be able to play again, when he's going to be able to do all that, you got to move on and get some guy in there that can. And I would say that year we had a pretty good receiving core, and we've had pretty good receiving cores over the years. So I'm not losing sleep over losing Jordan Tyson. And same with other players going on. If they don't want to be here, they don't want to be here. Obviously, us not wanting to keep Brandon Hood, Colton Hood didn't want to stay.
I don't believe the players didn't want to be there. I feel like it was more to it that led the players to leave because the same way they came, them leaving, I don't necessarily believe they would waste their time coming to see you if they just to waste their time. They wanted to play.
Yeah, no, and every guy deserves a chance to play. But, in some positions, you may not be the best player to play at that time. And sometimes, if those guys had started, at Bama, maybe they don't play. Or if they started Tennessee, maybe he doesn't play for a while.
It's like Dylan Edwards. All they really did was go get a Timo version of Dylan Edwards, the running back they got from the FCS school. It just doesn't make any sense. Why not just keep Dylan Edwards from Jump Street?
Because Dylan Edwards wanted to go home.
Yeah, but you didn't have to start Charlie Offerdahl for him to make him want to go home.
You got to remember, Charlie Offerdahl didn't start till the next year. Dylan was the main guy his freshman year. He was getting plenty of playing time.
Charlie Offerdahl and Dylan Hayden, none of those guys were better than Dylan Edwards.
Okay, but both of those came after Dylan Edwards left. You got to remember that first year. Dallin Hayden's been here 2 years. It's been 3 years since Dylan Edwards left Colorado. He was here 3 seasons ago.
Yeah.
So,
well, it is what it is, man. But I just, like I say, man, y'all can make it sound good all y'all want to, man. But it ain't all on the players, man. It's the egotistic stuff that's going on at CU. Is the reason why I fell asleep off of 2 Red Bulls during a CU football game this Saturday. It was boring. I couldn't even stay up to watch it. It was so bad. Like that never should happen for me watching a college football game.
I get that.
I feel like I'm a fan just watching it. So why should I have to deal with going to sleep off of 2 Red Bulls during a football game?
Yep, I gotcha. Okay, well, I appreciate the call. We'll talk to you later. Okay, guys. Average highlights. I appreciate you again for the super chat. Do you think Coach Prime and the staff will change? I do. He's a top 5 paid coach. No way we don't have the NIL money. Well, here's the thing. They're going to have to pay the NIL money this offseason because to get some of the players that they're going to try and get, it's going to be very difficult for them to do that with what's going on. So, just an FYI that it's going to have to be different. Okay. It's going to have to be different. Buffs News Weekly Live. This is Russ. Who do I have the pleasure of speaking with, and where are you calling from?
Hey, Russ. My name is Cheyenne. I'm calling from New Orleans, Louisiana.
I appreciate you calling, Cheyenne. What are your thoughts on the game against Houston last weekend?
Well, the game against Houston, it was definitely a hard watch. I was rooting for Staub. I was really hoping that they would find that answer at quarterback, and that would just make the whole team, look so much better. I was definitely extremely disappointed in the defense. I was like, are you guys even there? I agree with Colton Hood. I would have definitely paid the scholarship to keep his brother there, but I don't think Tennessee did that either. So why does
Yep.
Coach Prime and his staff always have to accommodate these players and these requests over here, but they didn't do that at Tennessee? So that doesn't make sense. So if he wants to leave, then he can leave. But I definitely just hope that they can figure out the quarterback. I like Salter. I feel like Coach Prime is kind of scared to make a change at offensive coordinator because if you remember, he had did that before and he got a lot of slack back. And they went and gave that guy some head coaching job and they did horrible next year. So I think if he really wants to, he can make that change from Pat Shermer, go back to Salter, apologize. That's kind of like a whole new fresh start since you're going to be changing the offensive coordinator and going back to Salter. I don't see anything Salter did to lose his job. I feel like maybe just how the players in the locker room and what we've seen on Well Off just really seem to like Staub, and we haven't necessarily seen that with Salter from what I saw. But I feel like Salter is really your best bet unless you're going to just go Juju, go all the young guys, and just win it. Try to get 6 wins. But if you're really going to try to push, I feel like they have to go back to Salter, and if not change Pat Shermer, they all have to have real conversation like men.
I would agree with that. I like the idea. I mean, if you do both changes to kind of start fresh and maybe that can kind of repair the quarterback room and what's going on there. I definitely like that. I appreciate that comment. Remind me, what was your name again?
Cheyenne.
Cheyenne. Okay. Cheyenne, I appreciate you. I love the enthusiasm and the take. Very, very well said. We're getting closer here to the end of the show. I'm going to go ahead and give you our fan take of the week. So please, please email me at buffsnewsweekly@gmail.com. It's in the bio on the YouTube channel too. If you forget, just shoot me an email with your contact info. And I will have our sponsors send you a shirt of one of the sponsored players.
Cool. Okay, that's so tough. I didn't even expect anything like that. I'm just glad to support the channel and call in. But I will definitely email. Thank you so much, Russ. Congratulations on your channel. And it's still so buff, baby.
That's right. Still Skull Buff. I appreciate it. Thank you. Buff News Weekly Live. This is Russ. Who do I have the pleasure of speaking with, and where are you calling from?
What's up? This is Kenny calling from Salt Lake City.
Oh,
What's
Kenny,
up?
you're not that far away. How's it going?
It's going pretty good, boss. Yeah,
Okay.
man. Yeah, just to kind of piggyback on what the last young lady said. I thought in my opinion, honestly, I think Salter is our best bet. As far as the game last week and Salter in general, I felt like if I was going to be honest with you, not trying to harp too much on Coach Shermer, but he had all summer to put in wrinkles and put into packages that fit Salter's skill set. Obviously, he wasn't going to be able to pass like Shador, but I felt that the coaching staff and Prime in general, they failed Salter because they did not show us as fans that they had enough plays to kind of tailor to Salter's strengths, and they had too quick of a leash. I thought he started the Delaware game pretty good. To lose your job and you put on 10 points, you had no turnovers either. And I thought, the first game against Georgia Tech, he was a little gun shy of running. That really hurt us. I think we could have won that game had he ran for a few first downs. And I think that really irked Prime, and I thought they had a lot to do with it. But other than that, I feel like there's a lot of issues with the Buffs, but I think that they can kind of look in the mirror on the coaching staff, man, and kind of look and say, okay, we got to make some wholesale changes because you got to look at one thing, and I want to say this, I'm going to be short. It's been 4 straight games where the offense has been horrendous. And I'm going back to the bowl game in BYU.
Mm-hmm.
That's with Shador and Travis and Jimmy and LeJontay and all those great receivers. And we were trash. And I talked all that noise for that bowl game. And we looked horrible. We looked okay against Georgia Tech at times. But I just feel like the Salter situation is a little weird to me. I think he's got a lot of talent. He went to a BCS bowl game, man. And he wasn't even in a Power 5 team. This guy he's the truth, man, but you got to put in packages that cater to his strength. Let's go back to Salter. Let's put our best players on defense. Alex McPherson has to play. Okay, he has to play. Byard has to play. No more playing around with the lineup. We kind of see who's got the flashes of that wants to play. Put your best players. Stop playing favorites with the lineup. Put in your best players and roll with your dogs on offense, you got to get the ball to your best players on offense. You got our running back, Simeon Price, averaging 10 yards to carry, and he got the ball 5 times last week. That is coaching malpractice. I play football. A lot of us have. You always get the ball to your dogs, man, your best players. That's the way they're going to win. Get the ball in Salter's hands. Let him create. Let him run with his feet. Let him open up the passing game. Let's get some plays downfield to our big-time receivers. We got a plethora of guys that I think they can play at the next level at receiver who don't get opportunities because we're not running the ball. Use the run. We got Jordan Seaton. Run on his side until the wheels fall off. And we got a lot of things to fix, but it starts with Coach Prime, man. He has to swallow his pride right now. Coach Pat Sherman is a mistake. He is a mistake, trust me. But they're going to have to really, really dial in that play calling on the offense. And I think it starts with the offense because if you look at the game against Georgia Tech, that defense gave us 3 straight turnovers in our territory, and we did nothing with it. I knew right there that with the same old Pat Shermer, and we never recovered from that. And if we would have just capitalized on that, we beat Georgia Tech. Start want to know maybe we have enough momentum to go into Houston and really win that game with Salter as our quarterback. But I really believe that was the beginning of the end. Thanks for taking my call, man. There's a lot to fix. Ride with your big dogs that are shown flashes. Price on offense. Get the ball to your big play receivers. Let Salter use his legs. Just build his confidence back up. Let's save Juju for next year because I feel right now this is not a good look for him to throw him in the middle of all this big circus that's going on. His father might tell him to transfer. If he goes in there and Sherman's not really calling the right plays and he gets killed, it's just not going to be a good look for us. But all is not lost. I think we got enough time to fix it, but it's going to start with Coach Prime really being honest and saying, you know what, Pat Sherman, you suck right now. If you don't fix it, we got to go to Byron Leftwich or look outside for a new offensive coordinator and then go from there. I'm not too worried about Livingston. I really believe he lost a lot of talent, and there was a lot of missed sacks in that Houston game that really could have changed the momentum and got us the ball back. The stop situation, I won't speak too much of that. I just feel like it was a feel-good moment. We just don't right now. We have to win right now. We don't have time to mess around with third-string talent. Let's go with Salter. He's the truth. You just got to put in packages and wrinkles that cater to his strength. And the last thing, we just faced 2 teams, Georgia Tech and Houston, that really did good with running quarterback. So why we go get a running quarterback?
True.
Had a 13-0 year and you can't say we don't know what it looks like because they're doing it to us every game.
Yep. Agreed. I appreciate the call. You're absolutely right on all fronts. So thank you again for calling in. I appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
Guys, yeah. I mean, we're all getting to the heart of the problem here. We're all getting to the heart of the problem here, guys. We truthfully are. Real quick, wanted to do this on after the game. Omarion should not start. He runs slow motion, gets caught from behind every time. You got to remember he's dealing with an injury. So the question was, should he have started and played in Houston if he was injured? My thing is probably not. You know, the shovel pass that Staub had to him, that should have been a touchdown. If Omarion's 100% healthy, I think that goes for a touchdown. And I think part of the problem that it didn't at that point is because you got to remember he was like a game time decision when it came to that. So that's where it's at with Omarion. I'm giving him a pass because, again, he's battling that hamstring. The fact that he came back so quickly, maybe he's not ready and maybe he doesn't play this week. We'll see what happens with the injury report this week. One more caller. Feel free to call in. One more caller. We'll end on this call. Buffs News Weekly Live. This is Russ. Who do I have the pleasure of speaking with and where are you calling from?
Hey, this is Terrence from Fort Worth.
All right, Terrence, how's it going? What are your thoughts on Friday's game and what's going on?
Hey, man, I love the Buffs, man. I think a lot has already been said, so I'm not going to repeat what was said already, man. But I would say, man, I'm worried, but not as worried as most people are. I believe we're going to pull it together. I do believe in this coaching staff. I do have the ability to get the job done. If we will do it, we'll see. But if you really look at the game, man, both teams scored 3 touchdowns. We got beat by Houston's kicker, if you really think about it.
True.
And so we were able to stop them from scoring 5 more touchdowns. So I'm really confident that if we can stop those big plays on defense, then we can make things happen. But we got to get this offense going and figure out who we're going to use for quarterback. Once we get that settlement, I think we'll be good, man.
That's a great point. I don't think a lot of people are really thinking about that. I mean, that kicker absolutely kicked out of his mind. I don't know how many kickers in college can kick that many 40 plus, 50 plus yard field goals in a game, and really kind of hammer that home. If he misses, 2 of those, we're talking completely different about that game and where we might have been at some point. So I have to agree with that. I appreciate the call. I appreciate the comments, and hopefully I hear from you again sometime this season.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, appreciate you. Okay, guys, I appreciate you guys. We've been going at it for an hour and a half. You guys have been awesome. Hey, this is still good. So Monday's done. The Monday show is over. We're now looking to Wyoming. So make sure you guys join us on Wednesday night for the Buff Blitz. David and I will preview Wyoming. I'm going to look to get a Wyoming content creator or somebody with the program to maybe comment on the team and see what is going on with it. So I appreciate you guys for joining today. There definitely needs to be some changes. There needs to be some come to Jesus moments when it comes to CU. Hopefully there is. Let's see what happens this week, guys. We'll pay attention to all the videos. We already saw the first team meeting from this morning, and Coach Prime, for the most part, saying how piss poor it was, minus, of course, Tafik Bayard. The fact that he called out Tafik Bayard, to me, tells me that we're going to just see Tafik Bayard starting at safety going forward, and we're going to stop seeing this rotation that we've been seeing, because Tafik Bayard definitely deserves to play. Alex McPherson deserves to play more than he has been. Sean Myers deserves to play more. And I wouldn't mind seeing some of the new corners. I wouldn't mind seeing, hopefully we can get Parks back. He can play a little bit. Hopefully we see that in the game. And they move some guys around. And then offensively, hopefully we figure out who the quarterback is. And whoever it is, I'm telling you right now, whoever they decide to go with this weekend, if it's Julian Lewis, if it's Caden Salter, let's commit to it to the rest of the season. Okay? Through the ups and downs, let's stop this. Back and forth stuff. Let's stop all of that. Let's just figure out a quarterback and move forward with them. Okay. So I appreciate you guys for joining me today. You guys have been awesome. Again, hit that like button on the way out. Last week was deathly, by the way. Some of the most disliked shows that I have ever had on this channel. Very interesting. Talking about the Houston game, but I guess that's where we're at. And make sure you guys are subscribed, guys. We lost 15 subscribers last week. We were on a hot streak when it came to the channel subscribers. We were growing so well, and then last weekend happened. So hopefully this weekend we see something better. Things get better, and hopefully CU comes out with a win this weekend. I'll see you guys Wednesday night with Dave for the Buff Blitz. We'll talk to you guys later. Appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for joining me. For us, Sco Buffs, always.